Hey everybody, we're live. We're here. We are gonna start. We'll do that. Nice to have you here, Erving in the chat, ready to see the games. We've got obviously the Hermetica clan, and who else have we got hanging about? Me, I'm here. Spiritcharged is here as well. And I am also joined by an absolutely fantastic co-caster who's going to tell me all of the game knowledge as we go through. Introduce yourself, my friend.
Yep. Hey, everybody. It's Rev Miracle, and yeah, I'm excited for these games. I got a little bit more insight on one than the other, but it's going to be a fun time. So I'm excited to be here.
I'm getting some funky echo. Yeah, I'm hearing an echo too. Where's that coming from? Let's find that before we go ahead. Yeah, I'm hearing myself. No, get out of there, echo. Where are you even coming from? Oh, have I got like there we go. You know what? It's too many versions of Twitch open. There we go. That's shut it up. Echo gone. Well caught. Well, we're going to start with Erving versus One Shot. I'm excited for this. It's a matchup of titans. And tell me again, which was your teammate? Who are you backseating?
Yep, I'm backseating OldManMike, or Potash is his name.
Ah, cool. So we get to dive into the first set of games where you're not too familiar with the players. Okay.
Exactly. This is gonna be good. I'm excited.
Looking forward to it. Okay, well, we'll dive in and we'll start going. And we have game one of a best of three between Erving and One Shot. We have Erving here playing as the Franks in the red. Very popular pick for certainly lower rated players. Franks, Knights and Send, classic strategy. Then down to the sort of south in the blue, we have One Shot playing as the Magyars. Super flexible civ. If I'm talking about the ability to go swords, they're good for that. +1 means that they hit hard. Everybody else seems to play them scouts. Don't know why. Have you got feelings about Franks and Magyars?
You want to know, if I pull up my played games, Franks and Magyars both have over 400 games played for me. So these are my top two civs. Now I've moved away from them as my elo's gotten higher, but yeah, my first 1,000 games, these were my two babies.
Hey, that makes sense. I can see why they're super popular, because certainly at lower levels, it's about feeling comfortable with how you're playing, certainly in the early game, and these civs are like so laid out for you. Certainly,
exactly.
Certainly the Franks, such a comfortable civ, and nice little bonus from the berries as well. It's just little things that make them play really well, and their knights are sick. If we're looking at the maps itself, I sort of feel bad for One Shot. He's nice.
Yeah, he's got
berries.
A more open front gold.
Yeah, and like no safe stone, like none. That's so far away in tournament settings. If this was kind of like higher rated players, if I'd scout that out, the first thing I'd be doing is like, oh great, I'm tower rushing. Like,
absolutely. It's the beauty of the map generation in H2. You know, it's the luck of the draw.
And so far, not too bad. Idle time, pretty even for both of these players. I think there's a little bit of an overall skill difference between these two players. One Shot is 1150, so at the upper end of the of the tournament players, while Erving, here in the red, is what, 1060?
1060.
Yeah,
Correct.
1060.
Yep.
So I don't think that's such a massive difference that in tournament settings that there can't be an upset. I definitely know that in tournament settings I've had somebody who is within 100 elo of me absolutely crush me to pieces. So
Oh, absolutely. We've all been there. We've all played that 1300 player who plays like a 1600, and we've all played that 1600 who plays like a 1300. So
it's maximum pain. So far, still smooth. Getting closer to 20 seconds of TC idle time for one shot, but pulling in the second elephant. I don't think anybody's... Oh, I'm saying I don't think anybody's lost anything.
this could be dangerous. Oh,
That's definitely not true. There has been a D and a D, so we must have missed it. I'll go back and find it. Where was this death? I will find this death. There's no... We're not missing out on death. I pay too much money to the Capture Age team.
That's right. And we know one villager down early is a big deal.
Certainly, thankfully, at lower levels... Oh... I feel for that. I really do.
Oh, man. Poor Billy. He dropped.
Anyway, we'll keep going at regular
so
pace.
This is round 1 out of 5 rounds in the tournament. So this is exciting. This is exciting for sure. But based off of the coaches, how big of a difference do you think the coach matters versus the player in this tournament, from your perspective?
I think the coach is actually huge. Having somebody that can notice when the game isn't going your way and give you decent advice to get yourself out of a rut. And you've got different coaching styles that I think will make a big difference. Some people will be active in telling people what build orders to go for, while others will be there allowing the player to make their own decisions and support them to kind of go for something interesting. I certainly know that my partner is more of the tries to tell you what to do style of backseating, which is adorable, but we knew how that was going to be already because we've played together in co-op tournaments and 2v2 tournaments a lot. We're very familiar with one another, and he knows that I'm completely going to ignore him and do my own thing. So.
Not going to waste his breath.
So it's absolutely fine. How are you finding your match? Are you a hardcore backseater or?
So me and Mike, the guy I'm backseating, we try to do a lot of our backseating during practice. So I don't overwhelm him because you know how it is. It's hard during a game when you're thinking about a million different things to focus on what's important. So what we've tried to do is, hey, ask questions if you have questions, and I'll call out the important things.
Nice.
And that's worked for us. We 2-0'd in the first round. We played very, very well.
That thing that we're going to watch in a second.
Oh yeah, exactly. Hopefully nobody's listening. Good. The interview question, yeah. Anyways, we'll pretend that didn't happen. Hopefully you're not the only one drinking watching the stream, right?
Same. And we are caning our way through, just like we are caning our way through the Dark Age. Both players on the way into feudal. Gonna land first for Erving though. So Erving not looking too bad. Does have a little bit more idle TC time, but do the Franks really care? Barracks will be up. A little late though. A little late. Backseater probably not given the right timings there. Because the ideal is that you throw down your stables straight away. But instead, we've been delayed, and this has allowed the stable time of one shot to be similar. Really similar.
Correct. And we got 25 villagers each here. Is that what we're looking at?
Yep. 20 vills for Erving, 20 vills for one shot. So super close. Nobody has any significant advantage other than there's maybe 6 30-ish seconds of extra idle time for Erving over one shot. I think it
We
comes
got a
down
lot of
to,
food sitting in the bank, a lot of food in the
yeah.
bank, and it's one of the things I think we notice at this level is a lot of resources sit at this elo.
I'm expecting that food to disappear pretty sharpish, though. I think a bundle of that is down to Erving queuing up like a lot of scouts, while One Shot has really only queued up a few. It seems to be looking more towards getting up to possibly a small mass of scouts and then trying to get to Castle Age as quick as possible.
Absolutely.
Which I don't hate. I think you have a decent scout advantage in the feudal age with the +1. How do you feel the +1 against bloodlines? Is there one or other that has a significant advantage there?
I think if you can micro well, I think the +1 attack is huge. But I think at this level, we're not going to see a lot of micro box form, hit and move. As we're seeing some villagers take a beating right now down in the wood
Does
line.
get a pick.
They're going to snipe it. They're going to snipe one, and if they could block, we got.
That's
Wow.
always what I find the struggle with going for scouts is that you have to be able to micro. It is a very micro intensive unit, even if it doesn't feel like it, because
Correct.
you have to get those move rounds. Both of them getting a pick off, really really nice. But it does feel like One Shot's overall kind of like scout movement is a little bit better. Surrounded the villager really nicely and got the pick off. Spears are
I
out.
agree. I agree. Yeah, that's what I was just going to call out before that spear came. It's interesting that you didn't see any quick walling or tossing a spear out, considering both have gone scouts.
Yeah. Though Erving
And
does
we're
have
sitting there.
a spear forward.
That's interesting.
Which is the kind of thing that I expect from somebody a bit higher rating, actually. Like that spear forward is good.
Hey, on the stream here, it looks like your face cam is frozen. I don't know if that's something you can fix, but it looks like
Maybe I'll just make it disappear.
you've frozen in an eyes closed form. Wow.
I'm just so disappointed with spears not murdering all. Let's just make my face go away. Go away, face.
We got a couple people in the chat. Golic and Grandy and Smiley, thanks for jumping in. Shattermaster, thanks for jumping in, everybody. Good to see you all.
Oh my word. Grandy in the chat? There we go. My face is gone. I can just drink wine with abandon. Oh, I'm gonna
and no one will judge you. No one will judge you now.
Bottle, mate. Oh.
And we got an old man with a baby in the chat. There we go. Welcome. This is a pretty strong scout attack here from Blue from One Shot. He's kept a lot of the pressure on Erving. But you want to know what? Erving's, despite that, he's still done a good job getting out farms.
I mean, Erving's done fine, but that damage from One Shot is huge. 6 eco kills to 1. Like if One Shot hadn't lost the Vil to the elephant,
it could come back to haunt, right?
Yeah.
These forward spears are making me wonder, though. What's the conversation there?
I kind of feel like he's been told, right? He's been told send a couple of spears forward. It'll help, and he's done that, and then not been able to do anything with them. And God, you wish they'd been at home. One Shot's control has been so good though, moving the units round, blocking the Vils off, more picks. I mean, this is
wow. Box form blocking. This is huge.
Clinical, really strong play from One Shot.
Oh, quick wall. Nice little quick wall there by Erving.
Bless him, he's trying.
This is going back to what I was saying early in this backseat tournament. I really feel like being on both sides of watching a few games, having coached. I think APM really plays a huge part into this as the player. You know, obviously the coach is important, but you can only go so fast. You know, I think the hard thing as a coach is calling things out and it not happening as fast as you want it to. So some of these lower elo players who have fast APM, I think, is really going to play a big deal later in
Mm.
tournament.
I wonder how that's going to affect somebody like me who has an EAPM of 20.
Well, I guess we'll see, right? We'll see if you have. But that's what happens when you have two even coaches and you have someone with an APM of 20, and you have someone who's doing double those actions.
Mm.
Um, it could really, but it's a
Maybe
strategy game. It's a strategy game at the same time, so we'll see.
maybe I'll put my set on after these three after these two sets. Maybe I'll put mine on. It's not been cast, and I'll show you what pure power can do. The power of ridiculous swords. See, now the
So
spears are being useful. They're
yeah, we're
pushing
seeing it.
blue away.
But Erving has to get some damage on these villagers. He has to.
And to be honest, I think One Shot has managed to put themselves just so far ahead. They're just waiting for click up. They've got the buildings, they've got the position. He knows that there can be no real damage. There's nothing exposed other than all of these wood. I find that so funny.
Yeah, agreed. They could run right in off that pond.
And that would be at least 2 or 3 dead vills. But instead,
Agreed.
we've lost scouts. We've got a couple of pick-offs. But we're killing more. And that's it. It's 10-2 right now. Such great damage. 39 vills to 34. Castle Age on the way in for One Shot. We're not super far away from clicking up for Erving as well.
Now, if Erving, force dropped that gold, he could have already clicked up. And I know that sounds not like a lot, but that 10 seconds is a big deal.
Certainly when it comes to getting the Night Mass out. Question
Correct.
is, are we going for Night Mass or are we going for Cav Archers? I think we'll probably go for Night Mass. The good thing for Erving is that there is fuck all gold for One Shot. We've denied the gold. So that's something. We can't have a huge mass of knights. We've also not even got a second stable or archery range down. While Erving is on the way up and is still currently taking gold. So that's at least something. Second stable.
A couple in the chat here. Golek, I have 22 to 25 APM, and I can beat people with 80 APM on ELO 12 to 1400. That is correct. That's where this backseat tournament is interesting because you can mix the strategy with APM, and again, this is a strategy game. Strategy makes a big difference. But when all things are the same, if you can make twice as many moves, that's what kind of tie breaks. But you're absolutely right. And then we got Zeskashiro talking about APM as discussed. Player can give coach some motion sickness. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because the coach is seeing the live the instant stream on Discord.
Yeah, I both really understand the focus on APM, but also to a certain extent really disagree with it. When you've got players, high-level players, who famously have lower APM than other players, who can still absolutely crush it. Because the strategy element of it, I think, is huge. I'm
Absolutely.
pretty confident against most players, my rating in tournament settings.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because my strategy is the strongest strategy in the game. You make fucking swords, mate. And you send them into your opponent's base, and that's it. Game's over. Don't need anything else.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's one of those things. Whether you're an athlete, hey, if you're just a better soccer player, you're gonna win. But it doesn't hurt to be fast as well. So,
One Shot
speed always
has been
helps.
fast. One Shot has been so fast at killing
Yes.
kills. Another pickoff. Another pickoff. Oh my god! Double kill.
Wow.
One Shot thinks he's playing fucking Call of Duty. Jesus Christ.
No, we might need to do a little bit of checking, make sure that these guys haven't given their coaches their passwords to their login, and we need to do some identity checking here. We need face cams.
That was so good. His scout control has been fantastic, and he's really showed a high caliber of play for somebody who is lock. Well, then again, he's 1150, right? He should be fucking good.
Absolutely.
He's shown it. At the same time, he is behind in the Night Mass. Military is currently favouring Erving by quite a lot, but the Vil count is so heavily favouring One Shot. Who's having a little,
he's got
tiny boom.
One Shot has 26 on food right now. That is going to pay off. That's huge.
But he is, like, with Bloodlines in and armor.
Well, here comes Erving.
He's,
Here comes Erving.
But One Shot's got his second armor on the way up as well,
Yeah.
so I think One Shot still can do okay with this fight, but you probably want to not take it right now.
He's taking it on the hill as well. We'll see. Okay.
But it works. Oh god.
Yeah.
You do kind of feel like One Shot is in the head of Erving. Erving's felt that they've been so pressured that they're backing away and just run all the way off. There's no pressure. There's no scouting around. That's definitely something that at lower levels you miss a lot of. Scouting is such a huge element of the game.
Absolutely.
Like, we can see from Erving that he does not have the speed, as you were saying, to have a unit moving around and looking while he's fixing eco.
That's
And
correct. Yeah, and some of this is going to come down to the relationship with the coach and the player as well. You know, these players that are being backseated, they need to really be able to trust their coach in different situations.
There's nothing really exposed for either player right now.
Yeah, this is pretty good defense.
Which is nice.
So we have Erving on 3 TC. Is One Shot placed at 3rd TC or?
Sticking on 2, and to be honest, I think I'd stay on 2. I think it's far
would as
more
well.
important to get that mass of knights up. The second TC was nice, but I also feel like One Shot probably could have all in this.
I agree. Yeah, Siege Workshop forward or something, and I made that push.
Monastery on the way. Now, obviously, monks counter knights, right? It's a fact. However, monks don't necessarily counter knights when you've got an APM of 15 to 20.
Agreed. Agrippa, welcome to the chat.
Is
all of
Agrippa one of your peeps, one of your dudes?
So
one of your
Agrippa
guys?
is who I play with. Agrippa probably every day, and Agrippa, there have been many people who've coached me, but Agrippa has given the most time to helping me get better, and so he's a great player in his own right.
So all of this is Agrippa's fault. Good to
All
know.
of this is Agrippa's fault. That's right. If I win or I lose, I blame Agrippa. So
I'm glad we all understand. Look at this. Monk is out, pushing the knights back, grabbing relics. Like, One Shot either has a fucking sick coach, like a sick coach who is just being like, take the advantages, expand, get the TC down, or One Shot is a goddamn blue-faced smurf.
I think we might have a little bit of both.
Maybe
Look at the
a
boys.
little bit of
Look at the
both.
boys lined up nicely.
Absolutely
And you know,
beautiful.
here's what's different too at lower elos. Sometimes you don't know how to deal with monks, so you hear that wololo and you get scared. So we'll see how this works out here with Ford monks, and he's grabbing the relic. Let's see if he drops it to get a conversion first. He's not. Okay, or I don't know where the monk went. He's headed back.
I've got to wonder just how far behind my stream is.
Are you pretty far behind here? I apologize.
No, I think we're good. I'm looking over. I think
Okay,
we're okay. We're close. It's just the monk didn't do anything, and the last time a monk did anything, it was blues.
Okay.
Armor is in. We're only 13, 14 vils behind. Military mass is pretty even. I do like that Erving is now trying to wall up. Unfortunately, while houses are good, houses are not great against this number of knights on the field.
Correct.
Like it'll stop it for a small amount of time, but not enough. What I like that One Shot is doing is splitting out these units, sending them around both sides, seeing if he can probe and find an area where he can get in and put pressure, which is great. Like, that's the strongest thing that you can do at under 1200 is have two groups of units in two different areas, because they just can't cope with it. Look at how many Vills just went down there to 4 knights.
Agreed. And he's sending all his spear to handle that. So he's moving his spear back from the front army. And now he's engaging on the front side. Okay.
It's just
He's
fantastic.
going in. This is a big play. This is a big play.
Oh, the fight blue takes the advantage.
This is a game changing right here.
And losing stuff at the back and pressure at the sides and the military mass favouring blue, and like that's it, GG.
Yep, it's over.
94 to 53. We're able to take out TCs with this Knight Mass. Oof. So fast as well. Holy shit. That's like longsword speed.
Wow.
Like, wow.
Yeah, at this point, this is just a slow death now. There's, One Shot's base has been untouched. He's completely booming. Look at One Shot's One Shot's res right at this moment. He's floating 1,200 wood and 1,100 food while dominating.
Yeah, I mean, he could sell all of his wood right now. Click up to him. There's the GG. Game 1 in the favour of Erving. One Shot, the 1300 Smurf.
What the Smurf? We're gonna change his name here. We're gonna change his name. So look at the APM. Oh, the screen was just down, but look at the APM difference. Wow. Smurf. God, I like it. I like on the fly the change. That's what we're gonna call him for now. But yeah, look at more than double the APM.
At the same time, 22 for an under 1100.
It's not bad.
That's not bad. That's like solid mechanics, and I wasn't disappointed with the way that Erving played that. I think Erving against a different player would be really, really competitive. The way that Erving built his military mass, the way that Erving managed to get early pressure on the wood lines and used his scouts to try and go for aggro is really, really nice. So, like, I don't think Erving should be disappointed with how they played game 1. Like, at all.
I agree with you. It was played well. It was played well for sure.
Let's just hop over to this and I'll load up game 2.
So the chat is One Shot actually 1300.
I believe One Shot has reached 1300.
Correct. So he's 1150. That may be his all-time high elo. I think.
Oh, Paul, I feel for Erving.
So what if you're his coach? What are you saying to him going into this next game? You go down 1-0. You kind of get your teeth kicked in. What's the conversation as the coach?
I think you're going that you've got to try and keep them on the straight and narrow right there, right? It's fine. You want your player to feel going into the next game. Oh God, I'm still frozen. Why am I still frozen? You want them feeling like they actually have a chance.
Right.
And
that makes sense.
I think they do. It's not so far out, and even if they lose this is like round 1. This is learning how each other plays, and at the end of it, you want them to be able to like look over these games and learn something. That's kind of the main point of this tournament, right? Is to for all of the players to have, maybe we'll hop over to. I forgot.
Well, here while you're fixing this, let me answer some questions here in chat while you're adapting over there. So he was 1K a month ago. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so Erving jumps into the chat and says, "I can tell you what he said to me."
Tell us, Erving. Tell us.
Nobody knows it better than Erving. Okay, he said maybe we should resource wall next time. Yeah, I mean that's a big deal. You know, you lost some early villagers, but yeah. And how do you see the APM? Yeah, that's a capture age feature. Thank you, Shattermaster, for answering there. Yeah, in capture age, you can get a lot of information that is not only helpful as a caster, but also as a player, going back
It's
and seeing.
it's great. I have been a big fan of Capture Age for just ages, just ages. As soon as like it was like game changing. Capture Age coming out, like on Voobly. Like that's the first time we saw Capture Age. It was working with HD, and it suddenly elevated Age of Empires 2 spectating to a whole other level. We had tools that allowed us to zoom in on a game that was like 20 years old and to see stats and relevant info that no other game could. Like, we had a better spectating features than League of Legends. And we
Yeah,
still do. Like, our Capture Age stuff. Like look at this. It's like the layout is absolutely fantastic. So many different pieces of info that we can dive in and get it. And that's fine. We can like scroll back through time. What the hell?
yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely crazy. Love Capture Age. Big fan. Have been paying for the Capture Age Pro since the moment I was able to, and was a
Oh,
donator.
we're hearing some rumors in chat. Rumors in chat is that Elon Musk is buying Capture Age. Okay, I hear the rumors.
Fucking god,
He's taking it to the next level. All right.
he's gonna
Oh,
next level off. Speaking
that's
of
it.
next leveling off, Smurf shot. We're going to Nomad. Erving
Smart shot.
pick Lithuanians. Perfectly reasonable civ. We've seen a leaning for Erving going Cav. There's two strong civs for 1v1 Nomad. Two. One of them is the Malians. Absolutely amazing civ. Love it. Best civ in the game. The second one is the Spanish. So this is a player that knows Nomad meta, or at least has a coach that can encourage them through it. And Spanish are dirty at Nomad.
Very, very dirty. I actually know some higher elo players, meaning over 15, 1600, that literally will just resign if they get Nomad and they play the Spanish because they say
Yep.
it's a waste of their time.
It's effectively fast castle conks, and how do you beat that on Nomad when you're not in a position to have a comfortably walled setup base, and even if you do, the conks will get through anyway because all it takes is a single petard to get through your walls. Like on Nomad, the Spanish are absurd. Definitely their strongest map, and they're a good civ.
Patternmaster Mongols are solid as well. That is correct. Mongols are another tough one. But yeah, seeing conquistadors so fast on this map, it's hard to defend against.
I mean, Mongols are fine, but the most powerful thing is normally being able to throw down a dock. And civs that can throw down a dock and get the benefit of that, which is why Malians are so good, have just such a huge advantage on this map. And we're doing it.
So
Erving going for the dock.
we should be seeing a dock play on both. And I don't know how much Nomads you play, but almost everybody docks right away. It's the right play. It makes sense mathematically.
Erving a little bit behind. So I'm very familiar with Nomad. I wouldn't say I play it a lot, but I watched all of Paradox's Nomad Wars, and if nobody else here did, then what the hell were you doing? Paradox is a national treasure. He might have left my nation and gone to the American side, but he's still a wonder. And most of you should now have come across Paradox by now. With him hosting Nations Cup and being
Correct.
around and such a kind of prevalent member of the community. But he's been doing tournaments for a while, and Nomad Wars was some good shit. What's also some good shit is Smurf Shot. 9 vills already. Steaming along. 6 seconds of idle time. Barely any for Nomad. Like, really, both of them have done really well, actually, by 5 minutes game time to only have, like, under 10 seconds of idle time. Under
Absolutely.
1200. Really good for
Nomad
both
Nomad
players.
is one of the few maps in Age where there is some luck that goes into it. You know,
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't know where you're grabbing. And look at one shot, he's got a huge gold mine and gold and stone piles right there. Good wood lines. How's Irving's resources look?
Erving, he has a gold that is pretty close. He's got some great wood lines, and the fact that this wood line is so huge means that like you
Yes.
can't end up with a tower denying it or any of that. Like, and the front of the base is wallable, but you'll see that the thing that Erving is locked into a corner. There is only some berries to the north and some berries to the south, and then there's no other res. Everything is forward. So if a castle ends up here on
It
this
cuts
hill,
off the whole other side of the map. Exactly.
that's it.
Yep.
Like Erving is locked off and will not be able to even collect any stone. Won't be able to get
Yeah.
a castle. Won't be able to get a treb. There's only the single gold. Like in a regular generation of Nomad, Erving's map is absolutely fine. But in this position where you're going up against a player that is probably going to be clicking up first and is
Correct. Yep.
and is probably going to be going for that really fucking toxic Spanish castle. This is a really rough map for Erving.
You're absolutely right. There's going to be nowhere to go. So how do you stop that? What are your thoughts? You know, early aggression on Nomad, meaning a drush or anything like that, is almost impossible because you have no idea where your enemy's at. So with that out of the question, what are you doing here? Knowing that you got a Spanish opponent.
It's really tough. I think you've got to lean into the feudal,
Yep.
because you've got to stop that castle.
Yep.
So
Yeah, for anybody watching, what I typically do on Nomad maps is I try to get scouts out and stop the villager push. You're
yeah,
right. You got to stop the castle.
because if that castle comes up, like there is no comfortable response, and it doesn't matter if your opponent hits Castle Age and then can't make a castle. Like, what are the Spanish going to do if they've kind of set their whole eco up to trying to get that castle? So
And on Nomad, that's exactly what they're doing. They're setting their whole eco up to get that castle.
it's dirty. Loom on the way in for Erving.
How's that villager Betsy looking? How's her health? Okay. Oof.
We're all fine. Everything's fine. Everybody's doing good. Like, once again, the idle time. Oh, I'm saying that. The idle time's really even, and then Erving just jumps up by like 10 seconds. It's still fine. It's still absolutely fine. There's 7 to 6 ships, so Erving having that extra ship out, but way more vills for one shot. Got the TC up faster, obviously, because Spanish. Because, once again, can we just stress that Spanish are absolutely absurd on Nomad? Faster building TC as well? Like, come on.
Well, and most people think automatically when you think Nomad in Spanish, you think the Conquistador Fast Castle. But mentioning the faster working villagers building that original town center, that's actually the bigger play. It gives you such an advantage.
But also, with that bigger advantage, you can go for Spanish archers. You can flex on your opponent. If they think they're having a nice time going all feudal age, you can Spanish archer the fuck out of them, then they'll
You're
tilt
right.
and GG, and then that's it. They're going to quit. They're going to be right out of there. Farms coming
You're
in.
right.
This is such a heavy wood eco.
And you know what? These games, Hermetica Clan is posting in the chat as a reminder. These are not just fun games. There's a prize pool on the line here. 400 euros to the winner.
I didn't know that. I'm a player.
We'll see. See now, you're going to give it all that more effort, right?
Not one bit. There is
Not one bit.
there is absolutely God. I'd have to put that on my taxes. Like no. We can't be dealing with any of that.
How about we win the tournament and forfeit the winnings? We'll see.
I would do that. I would immediately donate that shit to the next prize pool.
That's funny. Yeah, let it roll over.
Your best hope I win, baby. I'll pay
So
Atom.
look at this eco. 15 on wood for Erving, 9 on food. Already collecting gold. Both of them 4 on gold. They know the build.
It's kind of wild. 15 eco APM for one shot, constantly moving things around.
Yep.
But Erving, it says Erving has the higher overall
APM.
roughly. Oh.
So one shot is dropping quite a few farms here. How many fishing ships does he have out right now? Can you take a look at that?
He has 8 fishing ships right now,
8 fishing ships. Okay.
which that's not bad. Especially
No,
if
it's
you don't
not
know if
bad.
you're going to lose them. If you're going for that greedy fast castle, you're probably not going to be making
And here it comes.
a fire ship.
Here it comes.
So I don't hate what Erving has been doing. Like getting a fire ship out, getting some kind of feudal pressure, but it doesn't look like he's doing it. He's going to try and fast castle as well.
I agree. You know, getting one fire ship out early on Nomad is actually a pretty strong play because a lot of times it forces an overreaction from the enemy.
Yeah. But
I know early in my Nomad days, I would see if I'm one shot right now and I see a fire ship, you know what I'm doing? I'm queuing up 3 or 4 of my own.
that's it. It's making 3. But actually, Smurfshot doesn't necessarily like he's got to castle. He doesn't need the fishing ships anymore.
True.
Like, it's great, but he's ignore that.
X marks the spot. What's happening there later? We'll see. Something big's gonna go down there, guys. Something big's going down.
Oh fuck. Any
Yep,
reaction?
bye fish. You're absolutely right.
Look at that.
Let's see if he drops his food first, and he's making another dock.
It immediately deletes it though.
Yes.
He's not even going to
So
bother trying to contest it.
That's what tells us that he's done with the water. Then he's going all land.
And he's got he's already started the farms. Like he knew it was a possibility.
Yep. That's actually very smart by one shot, and this could play off. We'll see.
Oh god.
We'll see if he force drops his food, gives up the water, gets the castle.
I hate it. I hate it.
Raid on it. I know.
It's like it's gonna happen, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. It's looming. There we go. Castle Age in. I kind of expect him to like drop the wood in and start sending the vills forward to get the castle now, while the stone vills finish it off. If you go
so again, knowing what we know right now, if you had to pick whose position would you rather be in, one shot or Erving's, right here at this very moment, whose position are you taking?
Oh, one shots every day of the week.
Every day of the week, right? It's just so strong.
This and this was the drop.
Wow. Okay. Yeah,
and I guess
look at Erving's res. 1,600 wood, 1,400 food.
He could fast imp.
He can do whatever. He can do whatever he wants to do with that much res.
He can fast imp. Drop 2 buildings.
Yeah, Shattermaster. I think you're right. Yeah, he's telling him. Coach is telling him, let it go, let the water go.
Oh, that's gutting. Because I mean, Erving could definitely have played this out. Would the fast imp play have done it? Monastery. And the university, he's got the res for that. Sell the rest of your wood. Immediately try and go for that click up. Could you defend?
Agreed. Shattermaster with the tier 1 sub gifted to Azotomic. Great job. Appreciate that. Thank you for the tier 1 sub. Thank you.
Hype. Okay, well, I'm gutted that game ended like that. And I'm gutted that they weren't able to restore. But I do think that, like, with the drop right there, castle on the way up, the position of One Shot's map, like, there's nothing, right? There's nothing.
Yeah, you'd have to throw the game at this point.
Yeah, and that's so painful because Erving should have a chance. Like, he's taken the water, he's got up at a reasonable time. Like, he's played really well.
So here's my question though, as an Age of Empires player who loves balance, right? Is there any other civ in the game? Swap them out with the Spanish in this play that you'd be worried about on Nomad in this exact moment. There probably isn't, right? I mean, it's
No.
really the Spanish conquistador coming out early like this with the mobility on this map. It's just really hard to stop.
There was a time when Arambai had that same fear of God in people, and I low key really enjoyed that time because the one thing that Arambai had over the conks was their ability to destroy buildings. Like, that
True.
building
It's true.
damage was just beautiful. And while they weren't necessarily a great nomad civ, you could do that same fast castle Arambai play and be really strong off it. Erving
Yeah,
says that the game went on for another minute and the idea was to defend with the monastery. So yeah, but I just, unfortunately, at this rating, like, a monastery defense is probably fine if you're 1200 plus.
correct.
But
Correct.
when you just not got that speed of clicking, when you're not a clicking god,
That's right.
it's not the one. I am super interested in seeing how Spanish land with the new
With the new
patch.
nerf. Yeah, you're right.
Like, will it be so much easier when a few skirms are extra scary? What is the next match? Please be arena. Well, we'll see.
Portuguese, maybe Golic. Yeah, your Portuguese have that same effect. That's why Portuguese push with the castle drop on arena is so powerful. But on Nomad, they just don't have the mobility of the Conquistador, and that's what's so powerful about the Conquistador. They can go from one side of the map twice as fast as, per se, the Portuguese
Conks, man.
organ guns.
Conks are just too strong. Just too strong. I'm still trying to get my cam to be the right damn cam. Behave. I've got too many cameras. Nope. Nope. I don't know why. It means that we can't have the beautiful green screen because it's not. Oh well. Well, we'll live without it. We'll live without my face, and I will load up the next. In fact,
All right.
let's whack some sick lo-fi beats on.
Shattermaster. I beat one shot on arena as a 700 player. He was in the 1K range. Yeah, that's the nice thing about Age of Empires. While every 100 elo there is kind of a big jump, but yeah, it hurts there. But yeah, we can jump to a little break here if you as we're getting set. Tomsnuffles, tossing some music on, grab a drink, use the restroom, and we'll be back here for the next match.
The real question is what's the first match? Is it is it Arabia or is it Four Legs?
We will find out. Well, let's do this. We'll all take a break. I'll be back in 60 seconds.
Ciao. Oh, hey, okay. Hi, everybody. We're back, sort of. Let me shut up.
We're
Blue
back.
and green, sleep, Miu Tiku, lo-fi beats.
Hell, it's a mouthful.
Hey, that's us. Mouthfuls. What will also be a mouthful is this particular series, which I'm hoping that you're kind of familiar with. Spiritcharged versus MH Patash. Game 1, Arabia. We have Franks versus Magyars. I've never seen this matchup before in my life.
No, Frank's Magyars. Who would have guessed? And
Who
yeah,
would
you're
have
right.
thought?
I have a little bit of insight in this match as I get to the honor of being Potash's coach. So I was actually coaching and backseating, and now I get to help subcast this match as well. So,
It's great.
but you know, there's been a lot of Age of Empire games between when this was played and now, so it's kind of like it's new to me.
I'm just really looking forward to the insight of hearing what MH Patash was screaming.
So I can stop you right there. There, MH Potash, OldManMike was not screaming at all. He was probably being screamed at. So
So, Old Man Mike is a cool cucumber, huh? Okay.
that's it. He's chill. He's real chill. So he's nice to coach. I'll say that. He makes it easy to coach because he does stay pretty calm, cool, collected, and
So,
so
Old
I
Man
appreciate that.
Old Man Mike, low panic player.
He stays calm. He stays
He's
calm.
okay. That's a very important, like anything really. It's certainly in a
That's right.
tournament when staying in it. Certainly in game 1, stay in longer than you need to. Like the whole point is to warm yourself in. Don't let yourself get tilted. Play the game
Exactly.
and get a feel of how your opponent is playing. Spiritcharged. I don't know why you're saying don't pay attention to this set. I firmly believe that you're going to win. I believe in you, Spiritcharged. I believe.
You know, this was interesting though. Again, I think for both, obviously, you know, your first game being backseated, even as much as people have practiced and gone through it, it's still different live. So, my conversation with Potash was, well, let's just live long enough to see Castle Age, and let's take it from there.
Spiritcharged, your casting buddy, is that Emu Warrior? Because if that's the case, like Emu Warrior is an incredibly experienced tournament player in his own right. I've seen Emu Warrior play stuff for ages. And what a combo of players that would be.
Yeah, that's his coach. Yeah, we were definitely the Potash was the underdog coming into this for sure. We were scared. For being
So
honest with everybody.
is this purely down to just the overall skill level of a coach just really dragging the wins out then? Is this that you are just so much better than Emu Warrior that your coaching is gonna?
Listen. We put the wins on the coaches and we put the losses on the players, right? Just like any good coach, right? That's
Well,
what any good coach in any sport
that's
does.
it.
You know?
That's the way it's supposed to be, and that's the way we're gonna keep it going.
Uh,
God damn it, the way we're gonna
all
keep
the
it
all
going.
the accolades and none of the blame, right? No. No,
Hey,
honestly, going back to this, whoa. That assumes I execute what my coach is telling me to do. Good call, Spiritcharged. Good call. No, here's the truth. It goes back to it like it is a team game. Even though this is a 1v1, this right now is a team game. And it's not all the coach and it's not all the player. It definitely is both of best worlds.
so not the smoothest start for Old Man Mike. 9 on food is always a bit of a risk because you are definitely going to end up with more than one sheep dead. Trying to do the fucking TC board trick. What the fuck? Who is this guy? What are
Who
you
is
doing?
this guy? And if there's a red dead scout, right? But
Wait,
yeah,
hold on.
you
When
see
did
a
that
lot of
happen?
slaughtered sheep at the same time,
Oh,
right? So
holy stat! So hold on. Hold the damn phone. So he hops in. He kills the scout. He
kills the
then
scout.
transitions to the boar, snipes the what
Saves
the
his villager.
fuck?
Saves his villager. Rewind. He saves his villager. One hit away from a dead boar, or from. Yeah.
What? What?
Look at the lady. Look at the lady. She's one hit away.
This is bullshit.
Look at this. She just sits there. She takes it. She takes it for the team, and I mean, it's impeccable timing. It's impeccable timing. Potash is the Smurf. Okay. Oh,
Anyway,
Smurf man. The chat has spoken. The chat has spoken.
I completely agree. That's absolutely wild. I can't do that, and I'm sick. I hope Smurfman Mike's scout dies now.
Smurf man Mike.
Absolutely ridiculous. At the same time, we've rocketed up to 34 seconds of TC idle time while we're getting those sick plays in. So we have a Vil advantage for Spiritcharged right now. And he does lose the scout. Karma is restored.
It hurts. It hurts. Western, welcome. Who's getting clapped? Well, right now, a little bit of everybody. So jump right in, grab your popcorn. The timing is just right.
Yeah, crack open a whole bottle of wine. We're getting into some good shit. So far, I've been really enjoying the balance of these two players. Like, obviously, I've got a mild leaning towards Spiritcharged. Spiritcharged is in the chat. But also, Spiritcharged is a fellow GB player. And so, you know, we've got that resonating with us. And I'm very familiar with his coach. So, all of the things going on here mean that Spiritcharged is basically OP. Please nerf.
Please nerf.
What I'm worried about
welcome.
is that that's going to happen. Barracks on the way down. Feudal Age, pretty similar timings. Slightly better for Spiritcharged again. So Spiritcharged looking pretty sick right now. I'm just saying.
And as you can see, old man Mike Potash with the first barracks, and the coach screams in his ear, and he deletes and moves it forward, makes it forward, replaces it.
Hey, this is great. This is all good research for me. Because with people's, like, barracks and stable timings, they'd be so fucking fucked if I was up against them. Oh my god, they'd be Man-at-Arms would be in their base right now, they'd be crying.
It'd be different, right? It'd be a different, yep. Loki, thanks for jumping in the chat there. Tomsnuffles and yeah, myself have joined. Jamakis, who is speaking? That's Tom Snuffles with the lead here.
Hey, it's if you know that it's a slightly awkward English Midlands accent, that's me. There's not many of us out on the old Twitcher sphere, and if there's a beautiful, well-rounded North American accent, then that's not me.
But you know what? We're the North American accent in the Age of Empire circle is actually a unicorn. There's not many of us in the age circle. So,
Hey, have you ever met Gingerbeard?
I think he's in our Discord. Maybe that's where I recognize the name. I don't think I've ever met him.
Hey, Gingerbeard is one of my early casting buddies.
Okay.
He came all the way to LAN Madness in the UK. LAN Madness, by the way, for anybody that doesn't know, is the single best, the premium European LAN event. It's on its second year. It's just sold out, so you can't buy tickets. Sorry, everybody. Organised by Grandy and this amazing guy called Tomsnuffles. You might have heard of him before.
Okay, he's got a reputation. We've heard of him.
Yeah, he has a reputation. Not much of it positive.
Hey, a reputation nonetheless.
Spiritcharged, dropping the walls in, keeping his vills safe. No damage at all from Potash's scout play so far. Really nice. Has been forced off berries, but it's the Magyars. That's not so big of a hit. Oh, God. Look at these fucking scuzzy ass farms.
Look at the farms. Who's his coach? Who's Spiritcharged coach? We need to talk to him right now.
Like, not in feudal age. Like, this is imp fine. Like, whatever.
Yeah, in the middle of a battle, 200 pop, making T90 proud. Yes, you are, Spirit. Yes, you are.
Absolutely fantastic.
Talking about ruining a reputation. Oh, jeez.
And here we go. The long distance mining. That was coming in. And some walling. We're going for tight walls. So, have you got walling advice for both your coachee and the general public? Because these are some walling decisions going on right here that some might not necessarily agree with.
No, you're absolutely right. And so for us in this game, here's what I've been telling Mike is to not focus on the walls, focus on the aggression, and so that's what he focused on. As you can see, he's microing a little bit better. He's taking some good fights. He's putting the pressure on. And so walling for us, just because of APM and just the strategy right now at this elo was, hey, if we can kill more villagers, we can keep the pressure in his base. You don't even got to worry about walling. And so that was kind of the conversation. But yeah, you gotta have one villager committed to walling, and you gotta wall, get your resources inside your base. We have his main gold, and I remember telling OldManMike this. He started the wall and he never came back to it. If you can see, the wall's been sitting there unfinished on top of Mike's gold. Yeah. But he was so focused on his scout play, which was more important right now.
This scout play has been so valuable. Like 5 vil picks. And it's keeping going. See, the thing is the amount of vills that are here and the fact that there's spears, we probably could have just fought this off.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
The reactions are good.
Look at the hole. Oh, and yeah, he was in there. He was in there. He was going to die. It was good. Jumped out just in time.
This has been an incredibly successful scout play. The walls are absolutely huge, but this is not making the best use of... Maybe it's down to scouting. Is this another...
It could be. I don't know Spiritcharged. I don't know where the scouting looks like, but yeah, you don't know where those wood lines... you don't know where the wood lines are at.
It's a complete
and that's why scouting is so important at lower elo, really at all elos, but when you can know where your wood line should be. Oh, and you missed the hole. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, fuck your farm.
Yeah. Pillage the lettuce.
Oh, maximum pain.
This guy out here just walling by him lonesome, just taking the. That's right, old man with a baby.
Oh,
This was a
oh,
bad play. This
yikes.
is the hard thing with microing and jumping back and forth to your base. You take some big hits from those spears.
Doesn't matter. If you've killed 6 vills and you've managed to keep yourself to, you know, relatively low idle time. Oh, wait, no, Matt. We've still managed to reach 2 minutes and 38 seconds of TC idle time, even though our opponent has managed to reach a very, very similar amount of TC idle
right
time.
at the button. Yeah, that's right.
Plus 7 vills lost. That's huge. Castle Age
It is.
comfortably in for SmurfmanMike. More damage done. More vills being pressured. These scouts will die, but they're no longer important. The Castle Age is on the way.
Yeah, Mike got a lot of value out of these original scouts that we made. And so that was pretty impressive.
Hate this blacksmith.
And the walls are still unfinished. That blacksmith should have been right next to the house, being part of the wall.
The big worry for OldManMike is that this aggro was absolutely fantastic, but it would have been defeated by competent small walls.
It's true.
And the walling at home is has been iffy. Like, if these walls finish, then great. Then the walling is a success, and there's no issue. And I think we've probably done enough damage where this is fine. But these walls finishing are way too late. Way too late when you're going up against somebody who might be hyper aggressive. I think he's lucked out because I'm not feeling that hyper aggression from Spiritcharged. Like we saw, funnily enough, if this had been Erving, who did go for that hyper-aggressive play, I kind of feel like SmurfmanMike might have struggled that little bit more.
Well, I think that's where it comes down to the elo right here. Whoever's the aggressor has the upper hand because it's so hard. It takes such a skill set to be able to be aggressive, attack, micro back and forth, continue to build your eco at home, do the right upgrades, wall, do all the things you need while keeping aggression. You know, it's really hard to do.
Where the
patriotic support go?
No! Stop it! Get rid of this fucking second. No! Stop!
He could have went all in, but the safe play. He'll see what happens. You know,
safe plays are for cowards. I love it. But second armor upgrade in.
At some point, it's who's going to make the least amount of mistakes. That's going to play into it.
It is.
And he runs away from one spear. Take the fight, Mike. Take the fight.
Oh God! Spiritcharged walls out. Walls out his villager.
She was sacrificed. She was sacrificed for the betterment of the community.
Now, for me, this is not an area worth focusing on.
Absolutely.
And yet still gets a fucking fill pick and still gets... Oh, God, that should never have happened. Look at the
villagers. Look at the villagers. Look at the ladies. Look at the ladies.
This should not have worked. Like, there should have been no value in that. It should have been walled behind and
listen,
nothing.
OldManMike Potash, he just has a great coach. He just knew what he was looking for, you know?
Ridiculous. Like, those knights should have been forced to circle down to the south and pressure the walls over here for an easy access in. And like the second lot of knights should have been circling around this way.
Yep.
But instead, they managed to absolutely clean up shop on the wood line. Second TC forced out in a pretty shit location, all things considered. And Spiritcharged is in a position where they're going to get strangled. All it's going to take is the siege coming out and pressuring in here. As soon as we get on the other side of this palisade wall and mangonels are on this hill, like, there is no comeback from this. There's no additional resources that we can move out to.
Yeah, Potash at this point has the map. He has the map control, and he's continued to boom at home while keeping aggression at the same time.
Yeah, really, really nice. the fact that we were forced to 1 TC and then a relatively inefficient defense for Spiritcharged. Like, if you're going for this defensive play, we should have been on 3 TCs.
Correct. Yeah, and that front gold's going to become a problem here. You can just that's the unluck of the map. He has 2 forward golds, got nothing else to go to. And can you jump to get the darkness on the map here and see what we can see as
you guys.
Yeah,
okay.
There we go. Yeah, so not a lot of scouting.
In fact, both teams scouting is pretty much the same. This is a classic kind of.
That's hilarious. Yep. Yeah, nobody's moved out. But this game, I mean, look, you're in this base with a Mangonel with knights, and all while at home. Guess what the blue villagers are doing? They're eating cabbage, eating carrots, farming. They're just having a good time.
That's a really smooth, comfy win right there for OldManMike. Not a huge surprise when it's a smurfing. I mean, come on, he's even here in the
Smurf
fucking
man
blue.
Mike.
Look at him there,
Yeah,
in the fucking blue,
Look.
smurfing it up. How dare he? How dare he? But honestly, really good play. Some great decisions. I love the forward siege. The fact that at the back of that we were booming. But here's my. I'm not calling it words of wisdom because they're not words of wisdom coming from an idiot like myself. But we can see the idle time, right? That we've dropped these additional TCs, and we've had 5 minutes of idle time off the back of that.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
So that means that a single TC constantly producing would have been just as efficient, if not more efficient, than throwing down a third stable and getting more knights out.
That's correct. Yep, that's correct.
This is something that really hampers people at both mine and your teammates' level, is that when we try and do this kind of balanced boom pressure play, one or other of them will always suffer. And so leaning into the strength of what you're doing, whether that's going for 3 TCs and cutting down on the military production, or actually leaning into the aggression, like with that Siege Workshop coming down, Siege Workshop, third stable, and like that game is donezo.
That's true.
So,
that's true. I think the conversation we had going back to it is we knew this, focus on what's important, and that's what we tried to do. Focus. You had the knights in the base. We tried to focus on that. And on the backside, we know dropping 2 more town centers, that wasn't going to pay off unless the game went to Imperial Age.
Yeah.
And so, that's why you go back and you watch the tape and you get better, and it's always easy for us Monday morning quarterbacks than in the game when your heart rate's double.
That's why casting's amazing. I can look at these games and go,
we're always right. I
can see these issues, right? And then I play, and I'm a fucking potato.
That's right. What was the APM that game? The APM difference?
39 to 22. So Spiritcharged, he's my guy here with 2 more APM than me. 39 EAPM.
I'm just curious through this tournament if my assessment will stay that APM is going to be the difference maker. I just want to see. I'm calling it now. I think I won't be surprised whoever wins this tournament if they have a higher APM than everybody else in the tournament.
So I'm being pretty quietly smug here. I think that I'm in probably a really good shot of winning. I have a pretty darn good
And yours
coach.
is what, 20? What is your APM, 25?
20.
20, okay.
20.
So yeah, I mean
20.
we'll see. I mean it's gonna be interesting. That will be fun to see at the end. It'd be really fun if you're in the finals with somebody with an APM of 40 and we get to roll some dice and see who wins.
Do you happen to know who my next opponent is?
Let me see here. Do you
I
know
can,
when you're asking the question?
I can fucking tell you right now. Do you know who your next opponent is?
Let me
It's
hear it.
me, baby. It's me.
Also, we're gonna
Tomsnuffles
see it.
versus One
Oh,
Shot
the
is
plot, the
next.
plot thickens. The plot thickens.
Why do you think we're watching this set? This is research, baby.
That's what this is.
Tell
Okay.
tell me your players' strats. Yeah.
You see
It
how they
could
did this old man with a baby? You see how they did it? Come on, Mike.
so pro. So pro. We're gonna dive straight into game two. That was a really, really good game one. Even though
That
Spirit
was.
Charged kind of got strangled and crushed out of that, I think there was a lot of good things at the back of that for Spirit Charged as well. So I'm looking forward to a game two. My worry is that your team got to be feeling pretty confident right now after having such a convincing game one.
Well, actually, me and my teammate just talked. I'm messaging with him right now. I think going forward, we're just going to wall up 1TC farm boom going forward in every game.
Every
So
game.
that's just going to be our strategy for everyone who's
Uh,
listening.
please,
Um,
please, please.
yeah,
Oh God, seriously, please do that. Please do that
please,
against me.
please do
Please
that.
do that. That
No,
would
we're
make.
no military. We're just going to tower defense.
Thank you. Oh
And
God, yes, please. Especially on this current
uh,
patch. Yes.
exactly.
Oh, okay.
Shattermaster, my APM is only 18. Yeah, it's interesting to see. I think again, you can compensate. You definitely can compensate for APM with good strategy. But I think when you have two equally matched players, I think APM is usually the deciding factor when you have two people who are equally matched.
It's certainly. I think that's true. The person that can have more clicks is always going to have a huge advantage. We will see who has more clicks in this second game. We've seen Magyars in every single fucking game so far.
We have,
Oh my
and you know what? And
god.
we probably will, and we probably will. Tomsnuffles, his in-game elo is 1100, but his casting elo is 2K. Okay, I like it.
Thank you. That's the nicest thing anybody has said. My casting gets better the further down the wine bottle I get. We are currently
Yeah.
halfway.
Liquid knowledge, liquid courage. Here we go.
Liquid knowledge indeed. Hey, there are many casts out there, many videos of me on the YouTube, co-caster extraordinaire. So you can have heard my voice many times if you're familiar with some of the smaller channels that do interesting stuff, like the Otter one who casts deathmatch, like a fantastic caster, really interesting community, great games, fully respect everything that he does for that community. So
That's great.
you'll have heard my voice there many times over the years. I love casting deathmatch. I have absolutely no idea how to play it because
But deathmatch is a whole different world. It is a
you
whole
think
different
that
world.
somebody with a EAPM of 20 can play deathmatch? Well, you're damn right they can. Can they play it well? Oh God, no.
That's right. Oh, that's great.
Magyar's
Catching up
Mongols.
on the Twitch chat here, as Tom's going to jump into our matchup. But I think a lot of people are catching on to what you said that me and you are going to be competing against each other here in the
Oh
next
yeah.
game. The popcorn is popping.
It couldn't have been a better casting duo, right?
That's it. That's perfect. It's perfect.
I'm looking forward to it. That game will probably be Saturday, I think, from our discussions at the moment. We haven't quite picked a time yet, but likely to be Saturday. So if there's a person that wants to cast this high quality stuff live, yeah, just good luck. It should be sick though. It should be sick. What is really interesting about round two is that the way that this tournament has placed it means that the people who in round one lost are playing against other people that lost. And the people that won are playing against people that won. So round two is only the Smurfs, right? Like it's
You
Smurf
put them
v
all in one
Smurf,
pool.
all in
That's
one
right.
pool. And the games are going to be absolutely sick. I'm so looking forward to casting them and and watching them, and also, I guess, kind of playing in them. But I'm seeing if these are the kind of strategies that folks are going for, I'm seeing some issues. This is Four Lakes. Four Lakes is a great map for hybrid civs. Spiritcharged, immediately throwing down the dock. Playing Four Lakes the way that Four Lakes is supposed to be played. Dock. I'm seeing a big lack of fucking docks from Patash right here.
We're with no dock. It's the new meta. You just wait and see. It's the new meta.
Okay. Okay.
That's right, old man baby. He said F the water. Many of you don't know, old man with a baby can't swim. So water is again what I say earlier, focus on what's important. And
Was a home
one
map.
step at a time.
Hey, we rated both players failing to get the ball underneath the TC. I mean, who needs efficient ball taking?
Although Spiritcharged first bore was perfect, the one right in the middle.
So
and,
it's a. Oh god.
Look! Just close the eyes.
It's not. Oh god. This isn't.
It's not going to work. So here's what's funny: as the coach, when he walked by, I said, "Wall in the scout." He's sitting there, and he builds a gigantic wall instead of 4 palisades.
I mean, I don't blame him too much.
It's for the memes.
This scout is in the worst position for walling in because he's on the edge of the grid
of a square,
which means that you can't. Like the only accessible stuff was the big walls. So I feel for it because that would have been sick, but it was not happening.
His play. This was really just for the cast. We just wanted to see if we could get him stuck in there for the cast. That's all that really mattered. It wasn't for the game. It was for the replay.
He was still going for it though. And housed. Loom housed. Now 2 eco units behind. Spiritcharged. Looking really good right now. However, so I'm gonna say this now. I'm gonna say this loud and proud and for everybody to hear. Mongols, right? Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me out there? Mongols.
All you Mongol players.
Every single one of you. Mongols is a fucking shit 4 Lake civ. Why the hell are you picking Mongols on 4 Lakes when you can pick fucking Japanese, Malians, fucking Teutons, anybody else? Like, Mongols is such a shit 4 Lake civ. What are you doing? Oh my god. Like, Mongols versus Magyars on 4 Lakes? Mongols lose.
I want to interject a question to you because we had this conversation, and you're in the tournament. How important is it for the person playing to pick a civ that they're comfortable with versus the right civ for the map?
There has to be a balance.
Yeah.
And picking a civ that you are comfortable with is always huge. Like always. Like go with your best civ every time, especially when you are a game down. But some maps, like you would not pick an Arabia civ on arena, right?
Correct.
Like
Correct.
You just wouldn't do that because you would be making the game harder for yourself. It's like going, I'm playing Nomad. I'm not going to play Spanish. Right? Like, what?
Right.
Why would you do that to yourself? And Mongols on this map?
But here's the thing. I think at this ELO, I think there's a lot of the players in this tournament who you say, even let's say Spanish on Nomad, what if they've never even used the Spanish before? Although that's the meta, that's the right civ to pick. How difficult is it to play a civ for the first time in a tournament?
If they did not have a coach at the back of them, I'd say absolutely, 100% go for it.
So they just have to trust their coach.
But with having somebody there who can say, yo, we're going to... I've looked at what your eco is right now. You need an extra 2 on gold. Right? Just to nudge them in the right direction. Don't forget to make that dock. Just those little things.
Spirit. I don't mean to cut you off, but when you get a second, take a look at the chat here. Spiritcharged is a little fired up. He's a little fired up.
He's going to be heckin' fired up. But I tell you what, he won't be. He won't be heckin' fucking winning when he's picked Mongols on 4 Lakes. Oh, absolute trash civ. Mongols, right? Mongols is a sick civ in a 2v2 or 3v3 on like Hideout, on fuck, you play them on Arabia, uh, Scandinavia, like games where you can get an advantage from Hunt. When somebody can equal your advantage by going onto water, like if there had been Japanese who are sick, dirty on this map. Japanese are absolutely insane on this map because
so let me ask
how
you,
well they do.
You're absolutely right. They're strong. Japanese are actually one of my favorite civs to play with water. But look what Spiritcharged is doing here on the fourth lake.
I love it. I love it, but it's less effective when the person is already going
There's
farms.
only 4 ships. Yes.
Right?
Yes. And we talked about this. Once we noticed docking, the talk was to punish them on land.
This has landed in your team's favor in every single position. I think that Mongols actually struggle against the Magyars when it comes to Castle Age, which is where I think this game will go because it's 4 lake. It always goes Castle Age. Like, look at how far ahead in res SmurfmanMike and Squad are compared to Spiritcharged. Spiritcharged has 6 on food when they went to dock early. Has the res for multiple docks, but hasn't got that second dock up because he's invested in the aggression on land. Look at how many fire galleys are coming out. Like,
this is a large map, and that idle villager, that entire walk from the town center to that lake, that all matters.
It absolutely does. There's more idle time in the TC. There's more idle time on the villages. There's more vills lost because we've lost 4 vills as well to the scout aggression. And Magyar scouts are absolutely fantastic with that +1. Means that even minor micro makes them super effective. Minor micro is important though. Like the god play. Oh god, it was so good.
Mike, old man Mike. Yeah, that's the problem when you put them on stand ground as they should, but you can't focus on 2 things. So it hurts. We've all been there. We've all lost a scout or 2.
I'm not going to judge because the amount of units that I lose to TCs by me putting them on defensive stance is just it's insane. But Castle Age on the way in for Patash. And here's the thing, like Mongols, they have to get an advantage in Feudal Age. Their whole shtick is that their Feudal Age timings are supposed to be better than their opponents.
Exactly. Yep,
and they are supposed to have good feudal pressure and hit the opponent before they can manage to achieve anything. But right now, we've got a faster Castle Age click-up time for SmurfmanMike. We're behind in Vills. Oh no, we're not behind in Vills. We're really not behind in Vills. We've expanded our boom a little bit. And we've got the entire Castle Age time of Vill click-up. But Mongols, they need to have done something in Feudal. Because Feudal Age for Mongols is shit. Castle Age is shit. Like, Castle Age Mongols, if you don't have an advantage, you are fighting an uphill battle. Because there's nothing
that's one
special.
Of the things you try to push whatever civ you are. You play your power spike, right? If your civ is a strong imp civ, you wall up, you play defense, you get to where you're powerful. You should be doing the same thing. Mongols, their power spike is scouts and Mangudai. That's their 2 power spikes in the game, and so you got to play to one of those 2.
But Mangudai, only special imp, right?
Absolutely.
They
when
need
you can
to
get
be
a mass. Exactly.
A mass of elite Mangudai, and then they are sick. Like,
That's
Mangudai, best unit in the game. I don't give a shit. I hate the Mongols. I hate them. But elite Mangudai are absurd. Great unit. The way that they're an archer unit that kills siege. Yes, that's fucking crazy. Great unit. Bloodlines on the way in, and we are leaning towards...
OldManMike in chat saying, I can tell you at this moment I was a bit worried looking at the score. Listen, this is a reminder for all players. Score doesn't always tell the whole story. It
Yeah.
really doesn't.
Score doesn't mean shit, especially on a map like Fort. Well, I'm saying especially. The score difference right now is actually entirely down to the fact that there are this many fishing ships and fire galleys on the map. That's the entire score difference is purely water. Water it inflates your score a huge amount.
Exactly. Yep, it does. And we talked about some of that score. If you look on the 4 lake behind Potash's base, he really overproduced fire galleys, and all that res could have been
Yeah,
used elsewhere. And when water's been given up,
like
and look at that.
there's no cause, especially if you've killed the fish, right? If you've killed the fish and secured it, you don't need more than 2. 3 at a maximum. There's never any call to make more than 2.
Exactly.
Oh, such good damage though.
Yeah, this is good. Mix it. Yeah, this is a good push here.
I hate crossbow. Like crossbow's not doing anything for me, especially when we're leaning into knights. I would have much preferred the Magyars to be slow producing, starting to produce Cav Archer right now.
Cav Archers, yeah.
Than
correct.
getting the crossbow upgrade. I think this limits your upgrades on your knights like quite a lot. Like we've not even got the first armor upgrade because we've had to go into the crossbow line. It's not worth it for me when we could have started to produce.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those hindsight moments where you kind of look back and like, okay, that was definitely a misplay. But once you're committed to it, once you got to go with it.
But here's the thing: is the commit is getting a second archery range down and massing those units.
That's true.
The second commit is that Mongols going for knights when they're behind in mass, and they can mix in camels. Why? Why are we doing this? Oh, I'll tell you why. Because Mongols are a fucking shit Castle Age civ when you don't have an advantage.
That's true.
Anyway.
Yeah, Potash putting in the chat, the crossbows came from a game earlier in the week when a higher ELO player was coaching me, had me make a range and add some archers to deal with the spears, but that was all in feudal, and this was a little too late. So yeah, again, we live and we learn.
Archer,
and look at that one knight is going to destroy everybody.
So many. Archers mixed in with anything is always a really useful thing, but the regular archers still kill spears. There's no need to upgrade them if you are making knights and they're just against spears. If you're getting up to a decent mass, so it's like if you've got 10 archers on the field, it's worth it to upgrade them. But if you've only got 5 and you're transitioning to Cav Archer, why bother?
It's better to spend that res pushing the Cav Archers.
Exactly. Glad we're on the same page. We'd make such a great combo. time to ditch OldManMike. Come coach me.
Oh, Mike. We'll see what happens here. There's always tomorrow. We'll do the 3v3 together. Me, you, and OldManMike.
Oh, hey, that'll be sick. That'll be sick.
Old man with a baby. You're fired.
Hey,
me and old man with a baby been through some stuff. It's, it started off by me asking him how old is old man, and realizing that I'm older than the old man. So
that's how all Age of Empires players could be. Basically, anybody who plays Age of Empires 2 and is under the age of 30, it's like, wow, I'm impressed.
Yep. Actually, I love finding somebody under 30. I love it. It's rare, but I love it.
It happens once in a blue moon. 19, holy shit.
Bring it back, Shattermaster. Tell your friends. Get them in the game. Let's go.
Fuck yeah. We love to have you here. You're amazing. I'm so proud of you. But also, I really wish that Spiritcharged coach had been like, hey, why don't you make some camels, dog? Because the eco's still good. Right now, there's 65 eco units. There's 18 military. The advantage is still with Spiritcharged in every single way, unless they throw away this military to the town centre and night play.
Right.
But the upgrades are good. But the boom for Potash might be stronger.
Yeah, I mean, if you pause the game right now and you look at it again, I think 9 out of 10 people are going to take Spiritcharged position right now.
Yeah, no, I definitely take Spiritcharged position. It's really, really. It
No,
should be really
They
nice.
might not take Spiritcharged as the Mongols. They might prefer the Magyars still, but yeah, it's a tough spot right here.
It's like this is pretty balanced. There we go. Monastery coming on the way out, and we know that Spiritcharged is a Smurf. OldManMike is yeah. This is a player that I can believe can actually utilize monks. That's what I'm feeling by watching this. And the knight play has been consistently. This is really irritating for me to see. I'm really bad against knights.
Is that because of the Civ you pick, or because of the micro?
I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say how I play.
No, tell us a little bit more. Like, what are some of your weaknesses?
That's fine. Okay, well, look. Oh, you know how we watched it. We will watch my set because I know it's short. After this, and we will go through. I can cast myself. I don't give a shit. Like I will.
I will call.
I will call a motherfucker. Don't worry. I'm there. I will tell you why knight play against me is a really strong play. And to be honest, I've played in an awful lot of tournaments. Considering I have been 1100 or 1100 equivalent for 8 years. I was playing in HD. I've played on Voobly, and I have been average that entire time. I have thousands of hours put into Age of Empires, both casting and playing, and I have not improved a single jot because I don't want to. The game at if you enjoy it, is perfect.
Yeah, if you enjoy it, yeah. It's like anything else, right? You got it. It takes something else to be something else, and if you enjoy where you're at, then hey, as long as the game's fun for you.
Any higher than 1200, and everybody's a sweaty fucker.
Absolutely.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Absolutely.
The best place to play Age of Empires, 800 to 1000. Those games
absolutely agree.
Are amazing.
Well, if you look on the ladder, I think the average rating player-wise is around that 950-ish elo.
Absolutely.
Is kind of the middle ground. So that's where most of your players are going to find themselves.
I recommend that every single player out there makes a Smurf account and limits themselves. Decide that you're going to play, but without hotkeys. Right? Play without hotkeys, only using infantry strategies or whatever, or play only doing something that you're not super comfortable with. Because you get to just see a whole other element of the game. Don't sweat it. Don't try and do fast castle knights. Just be like, I'm gonna rush with militia because I can. Just try playing the game that way for a second, and you can see the wider joy that is Age of Empires under 1200 is special, because as soon as you pass 1200, everybody's going meta, everybody's picking Spanish on Nomad, everybody's going for fucking 3 monk conversions, getting the Knight Mass and crushing your ass. Fucking fuck. And that's why you're right. Monks are so scary to somebody who is this rating.
Yep. It's funny because one monk can scare away a larger number of knights, and that's where your coach can tell you, push it, fight it, take it. You can win this battle.
They can't.
Or
they can't.
back out.
And it is backing out. At the back of this, it's the Mongols have to realize that they, with 3 pawns, you have to have the eco advantage.
Take a look at the back pond. I think at this point, Potash is destroying or has already destroyed. We're trying to get rid of that. All those fishing ships mean nothing if there's no dock.
This dock should never have gone down, because all it takes is one demo.
Exactly.
One demo and the fire galleys that are here, but this does go. Oh, it doesn't. 10 HP left. Let's go. Spiritcharged. Reboom. Fuck you, Smurf Tash.
Spiritcharged. My takeaway from this game: monks are OP. Please nerf.
Yeah, I completely agree. But also having it. Oh god, if you lose with 4 puns, fuck me.
Has that ever been done? Has anybody ever lost 4 legs with having 4 legs?
Yes,
Could
absolutely.
this be the first time?
Absolutely, because as great as food is, if you are a civ that is not utilizing that food, then you're not in a great position. Right now, you've got the faster click-up time. 64 vil click-up, maybe a little premature. You kind of want to be having an eco probably a little bit better, but you've got the military mass and the monks. And because the monk play is completely kind of nerfing Spiritcharged's attempt at aggression, these monks mean that Spiritcharged can't push, which means that clicking up with less villagers is fine because the eco damage isn't going to happen. Like, this is super vulnerable, right?
Yeah, the monks were a huge play here for sure. And old man with the baby, OldManMike, Potash did let us know he's actually known for being premature in a lot of things he does. So that
good to know.
does help
Good
us
to
to
know.
understand. Yeah, and that's some very vulnerable villagers that were almost to their death.
Conversions again. And it's just not
So-
the.
So
it's
again,
close.
Spiritcharged with the hefty score lead, a few hundred score. But the game feels even right now.
It is, but it's not. It's not even at all, because that military, like, clear up is absolutely fantastic. Levels it out now. One player's an imp and one's not, and the monk has done absolute work to kind of make this fight better than it was. Like, at the same time, that's as good as it could be for Spiritcharged. Like, you're taking the engagement just before your opponent lands an imp. So that means that you're cleaning up that military mass before Cavalier is in. That's the
True.
best trade that you could take. At the same time, what the fuck are y'all doing taking that engagement just before you hit imp? Like, what the fuck?
Listen. We're all here for a reason, right? None of us are playing Viper for a reason, you know.
It's right now. The issue that is on this field is that there are still, with 4 puns, there's only 11 on food for Spiritcharged.
Something was happening there, and against SmurfManMike, we're floating so much res. We could build another army.
You can be on the way to a second imp right now. In fact, is this? I forgot. Is standard play a thing? Is this standard play or conquest? It might be standard, you know.
I believe this is standard.
Fuck, make a wonder. Flex.
We thought about it. We thought about flexing. We thought about letting it happen, but we just, this is where you were yelling. The old man with the baby says, "This is where I was yelling at him to make a market and fix your eco. You have no gold and 1,400 wood and 1,400 food."
I was worried that this would happen, even though the castle was coming up earlier. Oh god, they both fail! Everybody fails at their castle. Congratulations!
Nobody gets a castle. You don't get a castle. You don't get a castle.
I don't care about like higher level gameplay. I've been casting lower rated games for 3 years. I fucking love it.
There's nothing better.
That does not happen at 1,400 plus. Like, that doesn't happen. No, all it takes is a couple of walls to block that off, and those castles go up. Like this, both of these castles are going to go up. Right? No, it gets to that. Fuck. This is great.
Look at the one more red villager trying to finish the castle by himself. He was coming over.
But this game is over. absolutely over because Imp is in, Castle is up. All it takes is a Treb at the back of this, and then, to be honest, getting the stables up is not necessarily the direction that I probably would have gone, especially without pawn control. I would have told the Magyars to lean into Cav Archer.
Yeah, the problem is we already had so much pushed into Cavalier play, and we don't have pawn control. You have to end it. I kind of felt like this was our moment. You had him on the throat, and
You've got the upgrades. Like, you've properly got the upgrades. And Cav Archer, I think, Cav Archer Siege, that seals it,
yeah,
right?
you can't stop it. Yeah, you can't stop it for sure.
Well, the Cavalier, if Spiritcharged had been in a position where Spiritcharged had actually made use of the fact that they had 4 pawns. With 4 pawns to only have 10 on food is not good enough for
wild.
any rating.
It's wild. Yeah.
And that, like, Spiritcharged should have had the faster click-up time. There should be no reason why Spiritcharged would have the slower click-up time. And if the Mongols had managed to click up at a reasonable time and still be going camel, like, that's really going to make the Magyars suffer if they're leaning into the Cavalier line. I like that the upgrades are there, ready for a heavy switch to Cav Archer really quick. So, like, it's really comfortable, balanced play. Great aggression. Castle placement was good. Like, against somebody that plays 4 lakes a little smoother than Spiritcharged did, though, this could be a really, really rough map for.
Yeah, it could have been dangerous for sure. It could have been dangerous for sure, and that's the problem when you play maps that you don't have a lot of time on, right? You just have to commit and play your best hand. But
that was good. But 2-0, like, right, fucking 2-0. Spiritcharged, who genuinely both games, I don't think Spiritcharged is a weak player for this tournament, not at all. Same with Erving in the first set. Like, I think both of these players have been dealt a bit of a rough hand in who they've faced up against.
Yeah, it was definitely a round 1 matchup that could have been definitely a round 2 play. But as Spiritcharged said, he was a little rusty. He was a little rusty to play, and that happens, right? We all have bad games. You just hope that your bad games aren't your tournament games.
We can all be a little rusty, but speaking of a little rusty, I'm gonna do it. We'll have a watch. I'll let you have a watch.
We're gonna see. Okay. He's letting us into the game vault.
I won't go. We won't cast me in the semi-finals of the other tournament. No. I'll let me find Tomsnuffles versus Big Chief. We're all good. Big Chief, this is as far as an ELO disparity as you can get. I am 1100 plus. Big Chief is 800. So,
huge difference.
Huge difference. We will watch game 1, super fast speed. Like, there's very little other than seeing the kind of shit that I'm going to do. There's nothing to be gained from this because Big Chief is at 5 minutes 30 seconds of TC idle time. It is, for an 800 player, playing absolutely amazing. I love Big Chief. Like,
absolutely.
His overall mechanics for an 800 are absolutely fine. His click-up times are decent. The only thing that he is missing is that he is Khmer and he's built a barracks when he's going for a stable play. So he's completely thrown himself off, right? Because he made that barracks and he wanted the stable. Now, even worse than that is he played this set without his coach, which I did not understand that. Okay, so this is a game without a coach. Yeah, this is a game without a coach. So this is somebody.
It's a 2v1. It's a 2v1. That's what
it's
really this is.
It's absolutely a 2v1. I also told Atten not to be too harsh, but this is as rough a matchup as you can get. There's a 300 ELO skill disparity, which is fucking massive.
Oh, absolutely. Every 100 elo is the next step. So
plus
that's
a
3
coach.
steps plus a coach.
And Atten is 1700, 1800. Right, he's at the upper end of the coaches in the tournament, and he knows my playstyle. So this is the worst matchup a person can have against somebody that has locked them off their resources and has completely stopped them playing their game. We're over 10 minutes of idle TC time for Big Chief. There's nothing to be learned from this. There's nobody should cast this as a serious game, because this does not get to show off what Big Chief can do. And Big Chief is fucking wonderful. Oh my god, is he wonderful for his rating. Because at this pressure, when you have 13 villagers, do you call GG? Yeah, you fucking do.
The game's over. The game's over.
Your opponent has hit Castle Age. Do you call GG? Yeah, you fucking do. But look at the staying power of this person. In game 1 of their tournament experience, they are staying in because they want to see what they can do. Look what he's done. He's Khmer. He started farming in the north. He's dropping his stuff. He's getting expansion down. Yeah, he's completely fucked. There's longswords out. They're going to destroy everything. There's no way.
But Tom, what if I were to tell you? What if I were to tell you that Big Chief comes back and wins this game?
I would love that.
I mean, it would never happen. But what if, right? The what if.
Big Chief is my idol. I love this guy. He played with such charm. Down to 13 villagers. Building that next TC.
He's not giving up. Without a coach, fighting on.
What a guy.
Erving, I have to face Big Chief next. Any tips, Mr. Tomsnuffle? I think he just... Absolutely.
Here's the tip. The tip is specifically for game 2. Now, this is a special game. This is to show exactly how terrifying Big Chief can be. Big Chief is not to be sneezed at. And I think it's arena, obviously, so we're going to skip through the Dark Age because you can learn nothing. Oh, Tomsnuffles doesn't know how to play arena. Whatever. We'll ignore that.
We'll pretend it didn't happen.
Big Chief knows how to play arena. This is an 800 player who's managing to push deer. That's great. Back in the yesteryears, pushing deer was a skill for way higher rated players. Like overall... His skills, pretty good. Ignore the fact that somebody's clicking up to feudal age at 16 vils. That's probably not relevant.
Wouldn't you say though, Tom, that an 800-900, even let's call it 1,000 elo player today is not what 1,000 elo player, 800 elo player was 2 years ago?
Oh, absolutely.
They're so much better. They're so much better.
That's why I'm still 1,100. I've improved from where I was 8 years ago. Absolutely. Now, my rating hasn't, but that's because the game has moved along with me. As more people have joined, more people have learned, and the whole game has developed. It's absolutely fantastic that we're getting these younger, more interesting players. Fuck, King Boo, one of our better GB players, only started playing competitively in DE. He's like 2K4 or whatever, 2K2. Like, they're playing and competing against Austria with Hera in it and taking it to all 5 games. Like, right now. Like, these are players who've been playing less than I have and who are already 2K. Like, this is amazing.
I agree. It's really fun to see, actually. It's good for the game. It's good for the game. It's good for the community.
And we have... Age of Empires has the single best online community out of any sport, like any esport, full stop. Let's just ignore the fact that this is arena and there are now 10 villagers moving over to the opponent. Like, that's fine. This doesn't matter. Big Chief is doing really well.
Well, what's interesting is we've had now 10 blue villagers just kind of sitting and waiting for the douche here, and
Here's the thing. This is where I worry for other players, though. Especially if I was facing Big Chief next. Big Chief, he's had quite a significant amount of idle time. Most of that is probably due to the fact that he's got a TC coming on his base, and this is Arena, and I don't know a single player under 1200 that is ever going to face the fact that somebody's going to fucking TC douche them
right
on
in your
Arena.
face.
This is not my strategy. This is definitely Atten's strategy, and
This is the coach. This is the coach.
he walked me through this. But like this game, to anybody who is 800, like this is over.
That's correct. That's true.
But to Big Chief don't give a fuck, mate. Big Chief has
does
shown his staying power. He's moved every single villager outside. He's managed to get enough res. What do you know? He's working towards getting a castle. He's got his next TC up. And if only there was a better player that could have denied that TC, but it didn't happen. If only a better player could have walled him in, but that didn't happen. No. Big Chief don't give a shit. Big Chief hits Castle Age. He immediately drops the castle. This is a player who knows exactly what they want to do.
Up. Wow.
He has such staying power. I am so impressed.
One man without a coach. Wow.
Yeah, no coach. He's doing this. This guy is doing this on his own. Nobody is telling him to leave. He's telling himself, I'm good. I'm fine. I can still do this. What a guy.
Wow.
Maximum respect. Organ guns are out. Now, obviously, this play will not work in the new patch. I will tell you this now. So this is definitely a nerf to players like Big Chief, because the organ gun is no longer as effective against buildings. The organ gun will not tear its way through the stone walls like it used to. The organ gun will not counter units the same way that it currently does. It will deal really well with archers. It will deal really well with smaller masses. But the way that they currently behave, not the jam.
So here's the thing: if they can do it to the Portuguese, why can't they do it to the Spanish? That's my question. That's my question, devs.
I mean, they sort of have. The new nerfs to the Spanish should
in theory. We'll see.
Should mean that they are even weaker. Did you know, and I don't know when you started playing the game, but did you know that in HD and earlier, that the Conquistadors didn't get any bonus damage hitting them from skirms? Like at all. Did you know that they had zero counter?
Wow.
Did you know that? That was a thing. That there was no bonus damage from skirms. The only counter to Conquistadors was mass archers. Because they could snipe them at range. So they had to. You have to have crossbows.
Wow.
Well,
so we've come a long way.
We have come a huge way. And Spanish have always been, and Conquistadors have always been, the single strongest Castle Age unit. But I tell you who's the biggest Castle Age unit. Fucking Big Chief is the biggest Castle Age unit. This guy...
Look at this guy.
5 minutes of idle TC time. Why has he got 5 minutes of idle TC time and not more? Because he doesn't have a TC, mate.
Exactly. You can't. Hey, he tricked the system. You can't have idle TC time with no TC.
With no TC, he doesn't need more anything.
Wow. Hermetica Clan, we need Big Chief on the vocals. Yeah, Big Chief needs we need to do an interview at some point with this guy. Wow.
I completely agree.
Impressive.
Deletes his walls so he can get access to his base again, right? Like, Big Chief is everything that I love in an Age of Empires player. Stubborn, going for a slightly unique strategy that, yes, I absolutely fucked up by going for my stupid Persian TC douche on